Grade 11s, today we are finding the equation of a parabola when the turning point is given. So let's look at number A. Our turning point that's given is -2 and -1. So step number 1, when the turning point is given, is we write our standard form down. We write that down. So you write down the value for P. P is the x value of the turning point, but the opposite sign. So if this is a -2, then our P is a +2. The Q refers to the y value of the turning point. And if the y value is a -1, Q stays -1. So the sign for Q doesn't change. So I'm writing this down, and my P is now a +2, and my Q is a -1. Everything squared over there. Then to find the value of A, I'm going to sub in a point. So when I look at my function here, the point I have here is this 7 over there. And the y-intercept I write down as 0 and 7. So wherever I have an x, I'm going to write 0. And wherever I have a y, I'm going to write 7. So this becomes 7 is equal to A, 0 plus 2 squared minus 1. Okay, now I'm going to solve for A. So this stays 7. A, this whole thing here becomes 4. And then I still have minus 1. Then I bring the 1 over, so it's 7 plus 1. And 8 times 4 is 4A. And then this is 8. This is 4A. I divide by 4 to get A. And I get my A to be what? 2. Well done. So now that my A is 2, I take this A and I go and put it into this equation. And I have the equation of the parabola. So now I go there and I write y is equal to 2. X plus 2 everything squared minus 1. And that's the equation of the parabola in turning point form. Okay, let's look at number B now. So number B, the turning point that's given is this point over here. So this point is actually 3 and 0. So again, the turning point is given. Step number 1, I write the standard form down for turning point. Okay, so now I'm going to do the P and the Q again. So remember, P and Q refers to the turning point. P is this number over there, the X value of the turning point. And Q is the Y value of the turning point. So P is the X value of the turning point, but the opposite sign. So if it's 3, P becomes -3. Q is the Y value of the turning point, and it doesn't change signs. So if it's 0, it stays 0. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. And plus P becomes my -3, everything squared. And then Q is 0. You don't have to write the 0. But we'll write it down because it's our first time doing it. To get this A here in front, so to get this A over there, I'm going to substitute any other point on the parabola. So I'm going to substitute. Let's look. Do we have another point? Yes, we have this point. The point is 5 and 2. So I'm going to substitute 5 and 2. So that means wherever there's an X, I'm going to write 5. And wherever there's a Y, I'm going to write 2. So let's do that. So here I have a Y. So this becomes 2 is equal to A. There I have an X. So this is 5 minus 3. Everything squared. And I'm going to drop the 0 now. Don't have to write it. Okay, so this becomes 2. A, remember not plus or minus. It's times the answer. So this becomes 4A. And I divide both sides by the number in front of A. So I get my A to be what? A half. So A is off. Then I take this A and I go put it in this equation over there. So I write my final equation. Y is equal to a half x minus 3 squared. And you can leave the 0 out or just say plus 0. Doesn't matter. Let's look at number C. So this is our last example, number C. Here we have a parabola and we have to find the equation and the turning point is given. That turning point is 4 over there. So if you have to write the coordinates down, it is 0 and 4. So because the turning point is given, we write the standard form down for turning point. So we write the standard form down for turning point. So P refers to the x value of our turning point, and we change the sign. The x is 0, so there's no sign to change. So P stays 0. And Q refers to the y value of the turning point, and the sign stays the same. So Q is what? 4. And now we put it back into our formula. So y is equal to a x plus 0, everything squared. And then our Q is what? It's plus 4. So to find this A here in front, this A, I'm going to sub in another point on the parabola. So the other point I have is this point over there. And that point is 2 and 0. So let's sub it in. So again, wherever there's an X now, you write 2. Wherever there's a Y, you write 0. So let's go. 0 is equal to A. There's an X, so I write 2 and then plus 4. So I bring the 4 over, so it becomes 0 minus 4. And 8 times the squared. 2 squared is 4. So this is a negative 4, and this becomes 4a. Divide both sides by the number in front of a, so divide by 4. What I do on the right, I do on the left. I get my a to be negative 1, which makes sense because if I have a sad face parabola, the a must be a negative. And if I had a smiley, the a should be a positive. Then you take this negative 1 and go put it back here, and you write your final equation. So my final equation is y is equal to negative 1. You can write the negative 1 or leave the 1 out. And then x, we can write the 0 and then plus 4. And if you really want to simplify this, you can leave the 1 out. And you have that. And you have that.